What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of Days of Our Lives. Honestly, what the hell is going on with DiMera Enterprises? I'm just saying. I mean, I have to be honest though. Like, what the hell? Like, what investor would want to invest in a company that's not stable? That DiMera Enterprises is not a stable company to invest in at all. It's not a stable company to be a shareholder in because they constantly have scandal. It's constant drama surrounding that company. They're constantly changing CEOs of that damn company. It's always a balance of power struggle within that company, and it's like, how's that damn business even making any money? Like first you got, Stefano was CEO off and on for years, then EJ off and on. Then you had Chad, then you had Kate and Sammy. Well, you had Kate and Sammy, then you had Chad, then you got Stefan, then you got Kate again, and then Chad again, and then Tony, and then Andre, and then this one, and then that one, Stefan. Now you got Jake as the new CEO. I mean, it's just too many CEOs. Like, it's constant change. Like, how the hell do you make money that way? If I was an investor, I'd be nervous as shit to invest in a company like that. It's just not stable. So of course, the board of directors and Lee Shin, Mr. Shin's son, they're not happy about the article that was published in the Invader or whatever about about Chad sleeping with Gwen, the nanny. They're not happy about that, because he basically slept with an employee, which can lead to a lot of problems, like Me Too and all this sexual harassment. They don't have time for all of that. Um, they just do not want to deal with that mess. I can't say that I blame the board of directors, you know what I mean? Because that is a PR nightmare. So Chad basically volunteered and offered to step down as CEO. And so Lee Shin was like, yeah, I accept your resignation and I'm appointing Jake as the new CEO. And of course, Chad was pissed about that, which is totally understandable because Jake don't know shit about business. He don't know nothing. The only reason they want him is because he's a DiMera. It's the only reason. They want a DiMera running the company. Um, but Jake even admitted, like, he was like, shit, he was happy about it because he felt like he can gloat to Chad, but deep down he knew he wasn't fit to be CEO. So of course Kate offered to help him out because she was CEO a couple of times of DiMera and she ran successful businesses over the years. So, she's gonna help him out. But she did give Jake a stern warning. Don't let the power of being CEO go to your head, because a lot of people in that position have let that power go to their head and they went on a major power trip and acted a fool, and the end result was they pretty much got fired as well. I don't really see Jake in that position for too long because, come on, this is DiMera. They constantly change CEOs, so I don't see him being there forever. um but Chad needs to focus on his family, and Chad needs to focus on rebuilding his family right now and getting Abigail back. So, of course, when Jake went to the office, his new CEO office, he got a surprise when Gabby showed up. I already know it's going to be some cat fight mess going on between Gabby and Kate because you already know Kate is feeling Jake right about now. So there's no way she's gonna let Gabby come back in, swoop in, and think she's gonna take Jake from her. So you already know it's gonna be a lot of drama between them. So anyway, moving on from that, Abigail is pretty much fed up with Chad at this point, and honestly, I don't blame her for moving out because, like she told Chad, it's not about love, it's about trust. And clearly, he does not trust her because this is the second time he has listened to another woman about his wife. And he has not taken his wife's word for anything. He keeps taking other women's word above his wife. So I can see why she's pissed off. Chad sitting there begging and pleading for her not to leave, but give me another chance. Well, she gave you chances before and you disappointed her. Not to say Abigail is perfect because she comes with baggage too, but it's like, damn, you keep choosing other people over your wife. That's a huge problem. So I don't blame Abigail for moving out for a while to collect herself and to figure out what she's going to do with the marriage, in long term wise. Chad is just going to have to work hard to convince her that they belong together. I understand Kate tried to convince her that she should stay because she was like, basically, you and Chad done been through a lot. You should stay. That's all fine and dandy that they've been through a lot, but that's not enough. Love is just not enough in certain aspects. And in this case, love is not enough. So Chad is going to have to put in some work to fix this mess. Like, Chad is definitely going to have to put in some work to convince Abigail that she should stay in this marriage. It's gonna be a challenge, but he's gonna have to rise to that occasion. So anyway, moving on from that. So I don't blame Lonnie and Eli for looking into Xander as far as the kidnapping of their kids because he did have an association with Dr. Rayner before. So I could totally understand why they would look at him as a suspect. But right off the bat, they didn't really believe he had anything to do with it this time. They didn't believe that because Sarah kind of fucked up a little bit, telling, because she had a flashback of him basically suggesting that she adopt one of Lonnie's kids or whatever because she was grieving the loss of her daughter. I mean, it was a suggestion, but that doesn't mean that he was saying, "Oh, go kidnap her kid" or whatever. That doesn't mean he was saying that. So I kind of understand where Sarah was coming from when she told the cops everything because I do agree with her. It's in Xander's best interest to just tell the cops everything. Like, don't leave nothing out because as soon as you leave something out, they're eventually going to find out that you left something out in your initial statement and they're going to be looking at you harder. But Xander didn't want to tell them everything because he was afraid that they were going to keep looking at him and waste all their time looking at him when he really didn't do this. Which I understand both points, but I think I understand her point more because if you didn't do it, then there's not going to be any evidence against you if you didn't do it. Um, and right off the bat, Lonnie and Eli didn't believe he had anything to do with it, but they still want to use him to get to Dr. Rayner because he had a past association with her, so he's the easiest person, to get in contact with her. So that way they could kind of, get the drop on her ass to find out where their kids are. So I think that was smart. And I know he didn't really want to go for it. He didn't really want to do it, but I mean, it's in your best interest to cooperate rather than piss them off. Um, and the thing is, I another point is I don't know if Eli and Lonnie should even be on this case because it is very personal. Like, this is a personal matter, so maybe they're too close. Normally in real life they would never be a part of this case because no mayor, no police commissioner is going to allow them to work a case that's so personal because they're too personally involved, obviously. But I am happy that they're on this case, you know, because if they weren't on this case, you already know that they would have worked it either way without the support of the Salem PD. So I can't blame them when it comes to your kids. You gotta do what you gotta do. Um, that scene with Bonnie and Maggie was kind of hilarious. Like the way Bonnie just showed up with a plate of food, knocking on the door, and Maggie just opened the door and closed it in her face. Listen, I could totally understand why Maggie is suspicious of Bonnie because of her past shenanigans. I could understand that, but it's like at the end of the day, if somebody's, telling you that they turned over a new leaf, I would just kind of believe them, but also keep my eyes on them. But I wouldn't make it known that I don't believe them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would just kind of keep an eye on them from a distance. I could totally understand where Maggie's coming from. But if Justin wants to give her a second chance and date her, then it is what it is. For me, I think they should just bring Adrian back rather than have him be with her double, her lookalike, because I just find that to be a little creepy and stupid. Like, just bring the real thing back. You know what I mean? That just makes sense to me. But Maggie was not having it. Maggie was like, no, I don't want her in my house. But Justin stood up for his boo. He was like, you gotta give people a second chance, and she's deserving of a second chance. So if she slips up in any way, then we can say, okay, kick her to the curb. But for right now, she's showing that, she's serious about being a new and improved Bonnie. So see how it go. I kind of like their relationship a little bit, but like I said, I prefer Adrian to be back. But if I can get it this way, I'll take it because I kind of like the two of them together. It's kind of a weird, wacky relationship, and I kind of like it. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about it, and I will see y'all all later. Peace.